Russian REN TV channel has recently exposed the false Armenian historical science, which is based on myths, aimed somehow to prove the exceptional and incomparable antiquity of the Armenian people and their statehood. Living in their own world, Armenian historians are considering that the world's geographical map should consist of Great, Small, Western and Eastern Armenia, which houses now descendants of the so-called most ancient nation. Yet another funny story linked with Armenia now became subject of mockery on the Russian TV. The Armenian ability to make up fairy tales is extremely popular not only in the Caucasus, where they started resettling only at the beginning of the 18th century by the then Russian Tsar Peter the Great, but also beyond its borders. Now, at the beginning of the 21st century, Armenians spare no efforts to surprise. This time, they made presenter of the military secret program, Igor Prokopenko, laugh. Thus, the famous journalist told in a sarcastic way about how the Armenians make up their own history in a hilarious way. It turns out that they even taught the ancient Egyptians how to build pyramids, Prokopenko noted with sarcasm.
Так вот, оказывается, это армяне научили древних египтян строить пирамиды. Бедные египтяне.
It turns out the Armenians taught the ancient Egyptians how to construct pyramids. Poor Egyptians. Then the Armenians went to ancient England after Moses took the Egyptians to Israel. As you understood, the modern English are also Armenians, just without a cap. I'm not joking. I'm friends with Mikhail Zadornov, but nothing more. What I have told you so far is not anecdotes, but the quotations of historians of the former Soviet Republic. When the English learned that they had originated from the Armenians, they protested, but it was too late.
In the program, it was also noted that a great nation does not need to prove that it's great. According to historian Yaroslav Listov, it's enough to open an encyclopedia and count outstanding historians, scientists and painters. In the program, especially Armenian historians were mocked. Thus, for example, at the National Museum in Yerevan, there are exhibits which allegedly prove that Armenia's age is approximately 500,000 years. Later, other absurd tales of Armenian historians were highlighted. Moreover, it turns out that the ancient Sumerians and Egyptians believed that science and wisdom came to them from the Armenian highlands.
Look, the Armenians call this cradle of civilization. This is the proof that the Armenians are the first people who were called Homo sapiens. This is the Port-Azar temple. These are the megalithes, which imagine are related to the period when, according to the official science, a human being could only hunt animals, and it was 12,000 years ago. Here, on the Armenian highland, people could already process stones, move extremely heavy monoliths, which, by the way, are much older than Egyptian pyramids. In addition, here people started farming and sedentary. Then, suddenly something made them leave. The explorer of these places claimed that it happened because of climate change. There was drought. Therefore, the Armenians had to leave these places. Thus, they reached even Britain. It turns out the Armenians were the first ones who set foot on the land of Britain. You think that is a fantasy? No, you're wrong. This is the history of the so-called Great Armenian people.
According to the presenter of the program, when the British themselves learned that they had originated from the Armenians, they got very surprised, because most of them think that the first civilizations in Great Britain appeared approximately 1 million years ago. However, at that time, there were no Armenians. Furthermore, the age of the most ancient tracks, which might belong to humanity, is 900,000 years, the Russian journalist stressed. Such obvious mockery on Russian TV once again clearly shows that absurd exaggerations of Armenian historians make real specialists laugh. Rena Agayeva, CBC. The Russian REN